Hi, good morning. I'd like to welcome you to today's painting class. My name is Judy Hilton and I'm going to be your instructor. I have been painting for a million years, but that doesn't matter. We're here first of all today to have fun, so I just want you to all relax, and if you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, I'm just going to get started because we only have 2 hours to complete a whole painting. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you today that we're going to be using acrylic paints, which means a couple of things. First of all, with acrylics, you really can't make a mistake. So if you paint something on your canvas and you hate it, all you have to do is wait for about 10 minutes, and if you're really impatient and can't wait that long, we even have a hair dryer that you can use to dry the canvas a little quickly. But then once it's dry, you can just paint right over it. So nobody ever has to know what's underneath, and you don't have to worry about anything showing through. Just cover it right over, okay? So one of the advantages of acrylics is that it does dry quickly, all right? The other thing I want you to remember is that nobody's getting graded for this class. We're just here to have fun. So sit back, relax, drink up, and have fun, okay? So let's just get started. I want to show you, this is the painting that we're going to be copying, and here we're going to start on your blank canvas, which makes sure that it's vertical rather than horizontal, because that's the way the picture goes. And what you have here is 3 paint brushes. I want you to take the little skinniest one, and I like to dip them in the water first to get it a little bit moist. Now you don't want it dripping water, you just want to kind of moisten it up a little bit. It makes the paint spread easier, and then scrape it against the side of your container because that gets off the extra moisture. So the first thing that I want you to do is take some of your black paint, because we're going to draw a couple visual cues onto the canvas to help you later. So if you think of the canvas about where the halfway point is, but not exactly, it doesn't have to be exactly, but just pick a spot, and I want you to just lightly mark in the horizon. You want it to be pretty level. So, and you can change it. Like I said, there's no mistakes. So basically the upper part of the canvas is going to be the sky, and the lower part of the canvas is going to be the ocean, and then where it comes on shore and where you can see the plants. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do, clean off your brush, and then take your big fat brush, and we're going to start working on the sky. Now you can mix your colors on the palette here if you'd like to, if you want it to be a really uniform sky. But what I like to do is actually mix the colors on the canvas so that you get a little bit more variety. Let your brush strokes show through and make it look like a painting. And by going back and forth and doing it loosely, it will give the impression of clouds and a sky, and it'll make it look nice. I'll show you. All right, so wet this brush a little bit. Take some of your blue paint, take some of your white because the blue is really too strong, and if you like, you can even add a teeny corner, little bit on your brush of red to mix it in and make kind of a purplish sky. So again, we're going to start with the darker color for the top and just start slapping it on there. And remember, you can change anything you want with the acrylic, okay? So if you look at this and you go, oh my God, that's just too dark, I don't like it. Come back over and mix in some lighter color and change it, you know? And basically, I want you to just kind of continue this way down the canvas. Now think about this. The farther we get away, the sky gets lighter, and that's what gives it some actual depth. So as we go down the canvas and get to the horizon, the color is going to gradually get a little bit lighter. So again, play with it, be loose, be free, don't worry about it. If nobody's getting graded on this, this is just to have fun. If you're nervous, have a drink, you know, just enjoy yourselves. we go, some more. Mix in a little bit lighter color as you go down the canvas so that you see some clouds in the sky. And so that you make it appear to get farther away looking. And again, if you do something that you hate, give it a few minutes, let it dry, and just paint right over it, okay? And you don't want it to be uniform all the way down because that's what's going to make it look more natural. And just keep going. And again, if your brush seems to be a little dry and it's dragging across the canvas, put a little bit of water on it. Again, scrape it against the side so you get the excess moisture off. But you can add a little bit of water to make the paint spread a little more easily. And mostly your job today is to have fun. So just relax and enjoy. And let's see what we come up with. And take a few minutes with this, relax, enjoy it. Use wide brush strokes to cover a lot of the canvas. And like I said, you can go back, you can make the sky darker at the top if you want. You don't have to. Just make it loose so that you get the impression of clouds and a sky and the horizon. And as I said, don't be afraid to mix your colors on the canvas. Okay, so maybe this is the sky for today. Let's make it a little bit lighter toward the horizon to give it a feeling of depth. And if you're really having fun painting the sky and you just love it, then carry it down a little below the line that you made. That's okay too. We're here to have fun and play. Okay, now we've kind of got the sky in there. And again, you can go back at the end and work on this some more if you want. But what I'd like you to do now is go back with the darker color and start doing the water. And remember, you want to make this horizon horizontal, for lack of a better word. And again, if you want to mix in a dab, like just a little corner of red on your paintbrush into the blue and the white, because that makes purple and that makes it kind of pretty. But we're going to start over again here with the darker color. And again, if you don't like this color and you don't like how dark it is, lighten it up. Do whatever makes you happy. And of course, I just messed this up. But you know what? I don't care because I can go back and fix it anytime I want. All right? And again, the water, you paint very loosely because it's water. And it does have, the ocean does have waves, and which will appear as stripes on your canvas. And again, the closer you bring it to shore, the lighter it's going to appear, okay? The lighter the water is going to get. And don't forget to put in some stripes in there because it's water. And we want it to look like that. And if you notice, the closer we get to the sand and the shoreline, the lighter the water gets. So it's reflecting off the clouds, but it's actually getting much closer to shore. So we want it to get a little bit lighter. All right, now, as you notice, the closer we get to shore, some of the sand is starting to show through. So what we want to do is take some of, clean a little bit of your paint off the brush, and take a little bit of the kind of mustardy color, which is a yellowish color, mix it in with the blue and the white to give you kind of the color of the sand. You could put a little bit of yellow in there too, just kind of lighten it up and make it look like it's coming toward the shore. And again, like I said, if you don't like what you've done, or you don't like the color, or you don't like the continuity, the way it flows, give it a few minutes, go back over it, and make it look the way you want. And if you want to clean your brush, again, just dip it in the water. We're still using this large brush. Scrape it against the sides of the container so that you get off the excess paint and the excess water. And start with a new brush, a new color. Keep some of the blue in there because you still have water here, behind here. And just keep lightening it up because the closer it gets to you, the lighter it's going to be. And we're going to create a path through here onto the beach. Carry some of this color back out to the water. And as you get closer, you're making a little path in the sand. So it doesn't have to be all completely horizontal stripes. You can make it a little bit bumpy because that's more natural to look like sand. And then as you get it toward the front, you can start darkening it up again a little bit. And carry it over here to the left because this is where we're going to put the plants in a little bit. And again, if you see that your brush is getting dry here and it's not spreading the way you want, just dip it a little bit in the water and then start again because that will loosen up your paint again. Okay. Don't worry about the sides being too neat here because we are going to put the plants over them, but I do want to have some beach showing through behind the plants so that it just doesn't look like, they're slapped on there and with no thought in mind. Now on this side, you'll see that the bottom of the plants is a little bit higher on this side. So we want to make sure that there's some sand under here and behind here. And basically what I'm doing, and what I want to show you right now, is that we're kind of leaving a space on the sides for the plants. So this is how we can do that. Again, take a little bit of your dark color and figure out about where you want the plants to start. And I would say up about 2 knuckles, okay? 2 knuckles worth. We're going to loosely make a triangle. And don't make it that huge because when you fill it in with the plants, you'll cover up all these dotted lines. But this is basically where the plants are going to be. And then on this side, I'd say go up about 3 knuckles, 3 or 4, whatever you're comfortable with. And again, put a dot. And you're going to make some plants kind of another triangle across kind of this way, okay? So you've got these 2 triangle shapes. That's about where you're going to put your plants. So clean off your little brush again. And before we start the plants, so since we know where they are now, I wanted to darken up the beach a little bit, like under these plants, okay? So there's going to be some shadows and things like that, which we can go back later and do more of. But in the sand, there's some kind of bumps and hills and little things like that, okay? All right, now, in order to make green, do you know what colors you mix together? Well, you're going to mix, here, let's take the medium brush because we haven't used that yet. Wet it a little bit in the water and dry it off, and take blue and yellow, and that makes green. So mix them together till you get a nice green color on there that you like. Okay, I'll take a lot of yellow. All right, and then we're going to start at the base of the plants. It's going to be darker than as they go up. So, you know, start in here, and there's actually 2 plants on this side. So you've got one kind of here and one kind of here. All right. You can darken that color up, the green, with some of the black, again, to give you a little bit of space to draw and have some of these plants. Alright, now some of these long little squiggly lines in the plant, you're going to have them come up. Okay? Because that's the way they grow. And they grow out again from the middle outward. Okay? And do it on both sides, because this plant is going to have some long, squiggly leaves, as will this plant. And it's not so much the color that is important as getting a little bit of contrast in there so that it looks more real. All right, now that we're going to go back and